G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow.
Breaking news.
What just happened?
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of Chris Rock.
Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. Do you understand my wife's words coming out of your mouth?
What the hell was that? Do you guys think it was set up or not?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
That would have to be some next level, Jerry Lawler, Andy Kaufman type.
Oh,
shit.
yeah. Will Smith would have to be willing to completely tarnish his reputation.
And yeah, he comes off as the crazy person there. He's unhinged, as you said in our text chain.
Yeah. Chris Rock, the only detail where he comes off bad is that it was a lame joke.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, the only punishment
Lazy.
should have been a 25-year-old reference that nobody cares about.
Yeah, in a joke that's been burned other places by other people.
Yeah.
And about a 25-year-old haircut. She's had that haircut since Scream 2.
I know. I'm like, am I waking up from a coma? Like, why?
Yeah, I thought Scream 2 was on the TV. I'm like, I'm trying to get to the Oscars here.
Like we went back in time or something.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the fact that in 2016, someone played a clip where, after the Why is Oscar So White and stuff,
Yeah, Oscar's So White.
there was a boycott.
Yeah.
Of the Oscars by a lot of African Americans, and she was one of them. And Chris Rock roasted her like, that's like me trying to get into Rihanna's panties.
Yeah.
No one invited me.
Yeah.
And like he went like, so I could have been retribution.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
That was seen as self-serving, though, their boycott that year, because it also happened to be the same year that Will Smith was snubbed for the movie Concussion.
Why would that be a fucking? Who cares?
Well, if he was nominated, you think they would have been boycotting?
No way.
Exactly.
They have fucking bells on.
Yeah. Oscar, so what? Who cares?
Yeah. As long as I win, I'm into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a clip here.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
The whole crowd
It was
mood
a
changes.
G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
Right there is one of the most fascinating part to me, because I know he was just about to be like, yo, your wife takes dick but not a joke. Like I feel like he was gonna go in on her.
Oh, he wanted to.
Yeah,
for
he was like,
sure.
oh, all right.
It's hard to, in that moment, really just make a sound decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris Rock handled it perfectly because, like you said, you got to make a sound decision, because if he goes after them, who knows? He may regret it. He might look really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking to see if he had an earpiece or something, which he doesn't have, because it looked like a producer. Like the way he caught himself, it looked like a producer was like, don't.
Let's hear that. Let's hear that again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. Okay.
You could just hear the room just dead.
Yeah.
On a dime, just fucking stopped.
Yeah. The slap, everyone laughed and applauded. And then he sits down and says, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. And everyone goes, whoa.
Well, yeah.
Like, this is real.
The crowd looked fucking shocked. The Rock is in the audience.
the Rock looked like he wanted to smack somebody after that.
I saw someone say Chris Rock's cousin, was very shocked at this moment.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Well,
Will Smith went to the Vanity Fair like after party or Variety after party or whatever, and was dancing,
getting jiggy with it.
Yeah,
dipping into his own product.
Yeah, exactly.
That was just all for appearances to make sure people knew he wasn't completely insane and ready for the straitjacket.
He probably thought he was going to lose that night, so he's like, I got nothing to lose. This is my last time ever.
And then he won,
and then
right?
he fucking won. He went from the lowest point to the highest point in like 20 minutes.
And then he like gaslit Chris Rock and everyone else, saying like he did it for his family. Or something.
Yeah.
What a fucking asshole.
That was the most rambling, self-important speech.
I didn't listen to that.
I didn't listen to the
and I
speech
don't
either.
care. I don't care what he has to say.
Yeah, if you have time, which you probably don't because it was like 10 hours, but It's just him saying like, "Oh, I did it because I'm a good father and a good husband, and
his kids are nuts, and his wife bangs every other rapper in the fucking world.
Yeah, his wife doesn't respect him at all.
At all.
At all.
No, nuts is a polite word for the kids.
Oh yeah, they're out of their minds.
Yeah. I think he's just trying to get back get back. He's never really was, but get into like Tupac form because she likes the bad boys.
Oh, really?
So,
yeah.
So
and he was getting too soft there.
he was way too soft. She's like, I'm fucking people in front of you. What are you gonna do about it?
Well,
and he's like, I'm gonna slap Chris Rock on national TV.
Well, he's fucking everyone too. He said he pukes when he comes. Like, everyone's fucking everyone, which is perfect setup for this podcast today.
Yeah,
It's true. Yeah. God knows what Will Smith is up to.
Yeah.
In his spare time.
He's puking when he's fucking when he's puking.
Yeah. And let's not forget, this is the same guy that got Janet Hubert fired from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back in the day.
Wait, was that the original sister?
The mom.
the mom.
Oh, really?
Aunt Vivian. Yeah.
Aunt Viv.
For what?
She was, because they didn't get along, and he ran the show.
He's an
He wasn't the
asshole.
showrunner, but he very much was the power behind it.
Yeah, there was
Because he
no
was
show without him.
No, he was the biggest star.
Yeah.
Right.
He has a history of behavior like that. And he slapped someone before in public when they tried to kiss him, a prankster.
I saw that, yeah.
That's his move.
Someone brought up
he
an-
smacks you. Yeah. Slappy slap.
Someone brought up an old Trump tweet where he's like, I think Will Smith did the right thing by slapping that reporter that tried to kiss him.
Nah.
Yeah, I have no use for Will Smith. I don't care if he goes away. I never want to see him ever again.
And has he done a good movie since Independence Day?
And that even is just like blockbuster bullshit movie.
You could have put Bruce Willis in
Yeah, it could have been
that role.
anyone. It would have been probably better.
Yeah.
In 1973, Marlon Brando won Best Actor for The Godfather, one of the most praised, iconic performances in film history. Don Vito Corleone, The Godfather.
Look at that butcher my boy. Look at that butcher my boy.
We got walking over here.
They butchered my boy.
Make him an offer.
Ow.
You can't refuse.
I could never do Brando. I always wanted to do an impression.
One day I'll ask you for a favor.
On the day of my daughter's wedding.
That was pretty good.
Kind of like Dom DeLuise, but
Right. Marlon Brando was pissed about Hollywood's treatment of Native Americans. And he sent a Native American activist named Sasheen Littlefeather in his place. And she went up on stage and everybody was confused.
I'm representing Marlon Brando this evening, and he has asked me to tell you that he very regretfully cannot accept this very generous award. And the reasons for this being are the treatment of American Indians today by the film industry. Excuse me.
The gist of the speech was basically, it's been an abomination the way that Native Americans have been treated and depicted in the film industry.
Yeah.
And that's bullshit. I'm not accepting this award. Thank you, though.
Wow.
yeah.
Thanks, but no thanks.
It's weird to me. Oh, it's not weird to me, but it was like I remember seeing that as a kid. I was like, I didn't see it live, but I just remember hearing about that. I'm like, The Godfather had nothing to do with Native Americans. Why is he doing that here?
Yeah.
But
Brave move on Brando's part.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. That was unheard of at the time to do something like that.
yeah.
He's not wrong.
No, I think with a lot of he says a lot of crazy stuff. Let's be honest. But
Wow.
but that was one of the ones I think that was accurate.
That made some sense.
Yeah, well, that stuff he did with Larry King later, where he was kissing him on the lips, and talking about the Jews running Hollywood and stuff.
Right.
I think he kind of lost his mind at that point.
On the set of
Some
the
aphasia.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
On the set of The Island of Dr. Moreau, I wouldn't sit there with a notebook quoting it.
Yeah.
But in 1973, he was a little more with it.
A little more, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reportedly, John Wayne was backstage and he was trying to assault Sasheen Littlefeather.
Now, was it assault? I've heard this before.
And he got restrained by 6 officers.
Yeah.
That's what Littlefeather said to The Guardian in 2021. as she
Wow.
recalled that
After
evening.
she came off stage, he's there and like wants to assault her.
like hold me back, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd heard that.
What a monster.
Who was gonna attack her?
John Wayne,
Oh,
the
Jesus.
Duke,
John Wayne.
He was like some over the top, like pro American guy who actually served no part in the military at all.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Just
and
played one pilgrim.
yeah,
There you go.
I'm gonna take her out. Yeah, but he didn't do anything, and he was just kind of a loudmouth prick.
Yeah.
I hated that guy. I don't know why.
Well, he gave you a reason right there. So
I guess so.
The next incident happened in 1974. The streaker.
we're going streaking.
A guy ran on stage buck naked, and he ran across the stage live. Nobody knew what was going on.
Naked.
Completely naked. And then David Niven, who was one of the hosts that evening, when the guy left the stage, he quipped, "But isn't it fascinating to think that probably the only laugh that man will ever get in his life is by stripping off and showing his shortcomings?"
Oh yeah. I remember. I've seen that clip before, but it's just so weird. Someone would get in there and be able to get away with that.
How did that happen?
Oh, we're gonna have to do an episode about this guy.
Oh, I know. The update on this guy is crazy. He was later identified as Robert Opel, a gay political activist and teacher, and he was later murdered during a robbery gone wrong about 5
Wow.
years later.
Yeah.
Thank God
That's
the robbery
crazy.
didn't go right.
Right. Was he wearing clothes during it?
Yeah,
Oh my.
He pulls out his gun. Hold him up.
it's a shortcoming.
Now we're going to jump around.
Okay,
We're going to go quite a bit into the future.
We're gonna House of Pain
Well,
this
the House
bitch.
of Pain section here. I was gonna say.
The year 2000, Angelina Jolie and her brother.
This is
Do they hook up?
After winning
let them hang out once in a while. Let them take her brother as a date. Nothing wrong with that.
After winning Best Supporting Actress, she kissed her brother James on the lips.
Yeah.
And then during her speech, she said, "I'm so in love with my brother right now."
Oh yeah.
And she was dressed like Morticia Adams.
Yeah, she got really creepy there for a while. After this is post Billy Bob.
I think this is...
It was right around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they were drinking each other's blood and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were at the MTV Movie Awards, and he's like, "We fucked in the car on the way over here."
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
They're like, what'd you say? He's like, "We fucked in the car on the way over here."
That was a good Billy Bob.
Yeah.
And it's the Sling Blade guy at the time.
Yeah.
Nobody could make sense of that.
And they were like deathly skinny. They were like fucking skeletons.
Yeah.
Remember that? It was so weird.
And she was publicly shaming her dad, John Voight.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
Not
now.
calling him back. They had no relationship.
Yeah.
Even though they did Tomb Raider together, they still had no relationship. I guess they weren't talking on the set. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. I imagine being the PA in between them. Just having having to deal
This
with those
is
psychos.
some classic Holly weird
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, this is weird, wild stuff we got here with Billy Bob and John Voight.
Buffalo Bill Carson.
She's great burger, Angelina Jolie. This is weird, wild. She's great burger, big lip girl.
Then let's jump over to 2003. Michael Moore accepts the Oscar for Best Documentary
Yep.
for Bowling for Columbine. And he brought all the other documentary nominees on the stage with him. America had just invaded Iraq. And so instead of
Shout out
giving
to
the
Iraq.
normal Oscar speech, he says things like, "We live in fictitious times. Shame on you, Mr. Bush." And he ended the speech with, "And anytime you've got the Pope and the Dixie Chicks against you, your time is up."
Yeah.
So he
Dixie Chicks.
blasted the president, blasted the war, and he got half and half boos and applause.
Yeah.
We like nonfiction, and we live in fictitious times. We live in a time where we have fictitious election results that elects a fictitious president. We live in a time where we have a man sending us to war for fictitious reasons.
Well, he was saying, I think I remember him talking about this in the room. There was like a lot of like business corporate people that go to the Oscars too. So they're scattered throughout the entire room. Also, it's not just like Hollywood elites or what you would call it,
wow.
like liberal people. There's a lot of like bankers and stuff that go
Big
to the
money people.
big money people that go to this.
Now we're gonna jump around to 2017.
Jump around.
Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway were on the stage.
Oh yeah.
Faye Dunaway grabbed the envelope from Warren Beatty after he looked confused.
Yep.
And she thought he was doing a big joke. And she saw Emma Stone, Best Actress, La La Land, but she saw the words La La Land and just announced that as Best Picture.
La La Land.
And it turns out it was Moonlight.
Yeah.
And the Academy Award for Best Picture
You're impossible. Come on. La La Land.
So everyone went on stage to accept La La Land, and in the middle of it, correction, Moonlight won.
And then the producer of La La Land had to put it out there and just say, "Look, Moonlight won."
How does that happen? How the hell?
Well, Warren Beatty, he looked like we're talking about, mental incapacity and stuff. I don't think he's playing with a full deck over there.
But he also had the instinct not to announce the winner like Faye Dunaway did.
Well, she just wanted to get it over with.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like she's doing too well either. But, they bring these older folks out there and, like Liza Minnelli
Prop him up.
this year.
Oh, that was crazy.
That was
Yeah.
sad.
I didn't know. Was she sick or what's going on?
Did she look healthy to you?
Did she look living to you?
Yeah.
Did
She looked great.
Did she look living?
Yeah. Some puppet masters up there, like, kind of just making her work.
Yeah, anyway. But with La La Land, the firm Price
Kyle said that
Waterhouse.
for the record.
Yeah, okay.
Price Waterhouse, their only job is to tally the winners and present the envelope on Oscar night. That's
Yep.
their only job. And this guy who thinks he looks like Matt Damon that night, this representative
Plemons?
from this representative from Price Waterhouse,
Yeah.
he had taken a bunch of selfies with the stars. And
he was
in
not-
his Instagram, I think he said he looked like Matt Damon.
He
or
dropped the
something.
ball.
He dropped a ball and handed the wrong envelope. That was his one job.
I know.
It's baffling that people are paid for these things.
Well, they're not paid well enough. Maybe that's it. Maybe people are like, hey, I'm not getting paid for this that much. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm really going to make this work for me this night. I don't give a shit about anything else.
Who would see that coming?
I know.
Nobody.
They're not even able to get the bare minimum done on these shows anymore.
We actually have one more shocking moment.
Get out of here.
In 1989, this producer named Alan Carr, who had produced Grease years earlier, was hired to produce the Oscars.
Yeah.
And he decided, let's get rid of hosts. So instead, he had a bunch of celebrities walk the audience through the ceremony.
Walk them out of the place.
Yeah. And he decided to start off with the character of Snow White, who was played by an unknown actress named Eileen Bowman. And she came out first thing and started singing the song I Only Have Eyes for You in a really shrill voice.
What does that have to do with Snow White, though?
Nothing.
Okay.
His idea was we're at the Coconut Grove.
Oh,
and this is
God.
classic Hollywood. The story is Snow White. She left her hometown and is now going to make it in Hollywood.
Oh, God.
And then Merv Griffin came out and started singing his signature hit, I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts. I've got a lovely bunch of
What
coconuts.
year was this?
1989.
Oh, my God.
And then he introduced a bunch of Golden Age stars like Dorothy Lamour, Sid Charisse, Alice Faye, Roy Rogers, like the drink, and Dale Evans. The thing is, though, they all looked like they were 100 years old.
Oh,
So
geez.
the audience was aghast.
Because they weren't. doing
Everyone
so
was
good.
really old.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of weird to do this segment where you're supposed to be wowing the audience, but really it's kind of depressing. They trotted out really fast, like too fast, kind of like that Andy Kaufman bit
Yeah.
where he had that old lady riding the toy horse.
Yeah.
And you think she's going to die of a heart attack.
Yeah.
That's what this segment was like. Then Merv Griffin introduces Snow White to her blind date,
What?
Rob Lowe.
Yes.
And so Rob Lowe came out, and I have a clip.
Snow White.
Oh, Mr. Lowe, I'm such a fan.
Really? Well, I'm a big fan of yours, Snow, but there's so much I'd like to know about you.
Used to
She's
work
15
a lot
years
for
old.
Walt Disney, starring in cartoons every night and day.
But you said goodbye.
Oh my God.
To grumpy and sleepy. Left the dwarves behind. Came to town to stay.
Not exactly Tony Bennett.
Well, no one tells good-looking people that they're bad at stuff.
Yeah.
Listen to the lyrics.
Keep the cameras rolling.
Oh God.
It's movie themed.
Keep the cameras rolling.
That's
Can
horrible.
John Fogerty is spinning in his grave and he's not even dead.
I know he's there. Can I make a hot take here?
Yeah.
I enjoyed that more than any Oscars in the past 4 years. in any 2-minute segment of any Oscars.
Agreed. And when you hear some of the aftermath, it actually is somewhat relevant.
The aftermath of that little
Yeah, that
ditty?
opening number.
Yeah.
So they go on to sing some more and blah, blah,
Horrible
blah.
shit,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it goes on for like 15 minutes.
Oh my God.
The whole opening.
That 50 seconds was way too long.
I know. And then when you look at the clip you can see it on YouTube, there's people in the audience like Tom Hanks, Martin Landau. She goes right up to them. They are so embarrassed to be seen
Really?
on camera with Snow White.
Oh,
Yeah, it
okay.
said Michelle Pfeiffer, Sigourney Weaver, like all these people
Yeah.
were just like not into it.
Mortified.
Tom Hanks, yeah, you said that.
She ended singing Hooray for Hollywood in a really big number where it feels like you're tripping.
Yeah.
Like Beauty and the Beast, like dancing utensils. or whatever.
She was found dead in a dumpster 4 months later. In Van
4 minutes
Nuys.
later.
Yeah, 4 minutes later.
So then the Hollywood establishment thought this was unbecoming of the Oscars.
Really?
Because
It's not a variety show.
it should be a dignified affair, and that was a travesty.
This year's like, hold my beer.
Yeah. So there was an open letter signed by 17 prominent Hollywood figures, including past Academy President Gregory Peck, the legendary actor.
Legend.
And they proclaimed that the ceremony was, quote, an embarrassment to both the Academy and the entire motion picture industry. It is neither fitting nor acceptable that the best work in motion pictures be acknowledged in such a demeaning fashion.
Wow.
End quote.
If they were around today,
That's what I'm saying.
they'd be spinning in their
Compare
grave.
that to the Will Smith thing. Unbelievable. This was just a silly number. Okay, you didn't like it. Who's it hurting?
Yeah.
Okay, so Frank Wells, who was the then president of the Walt Disney Company, lodged a formal complaint. And Disney sued the Oscars for copyright infringement
That's hilarious.
and dilution of business reputation.
Wow.
A year later, Billy Crystal hosted the Oscars for the first time.
Hello, my lady.
And
Hello,
he
my
came out,
darling.
received a standing ovation, and his first line was, "Are you happy to see me, or are you just glad I'm not Snow White?"
Oh, you
That's
addressed
funny.
it. See, that's what Amy Schumer should have done.
Yeah. And then producer Alan Carr never worked in Hollywood again. And the Oscars
done.
The Oscars didn't go without a host until 2019.
They said Alan Carr left his mark on not only the Oscars, but in award show history because it was his decision to change the phrase, and the winner is, to, and the Oscar goes to. And it's become the norm for award shows in general, not just for the Oscars. He also hired Bruce Valanche as head comedy writer, a job which Valanche still held as of 2015.
One of the best joke writers in the business.
He writes
Yeah.
patterns. Yeah, I remember that. People used to make fun of him because he was like a hack.
He was on Hollywood
Yeah,
Squares.
he's like
Yeah.
always center square. Him and Whoopi Goldberg, I think, like traded
Yeah.
off.
Okay, a hack, but with a pretty amazing career.
Yeah, he made a bunch of money. Like
And he would write for everyone from Robin Williams.
he dressed
to
really
Billy
wacky.
Crystal.
Remember seeing how he dressed? He'd like,
Always had a
Yeah.
shirt on.
yeah, a shirt on.
Hopefully.
yeah.
No, what I mean is he would have a wacky shirt on.
yeah.
It was always, what shirt is he wearing
Like
today?
who farted T-shirt or something. Yeah, yeah. I remember him with the big beard and stuff, and he looks
He looks weird
quirky.
without the beard, though.
Yeah, he sure does.
Yeah.
Besides that, though.
Yeah, this shirt he has says, "I'm not Santa, but you can sit on my lap anyway." And he's on the red carpet at a Toys for Tots benefit.
Okay, we might need to
Okay.
investigate Bruce Valanche at a later date. By the way, you can look up on YouTube him talking about the Snow White incident.
Oh, that's funny.
Because it was his idea.
not his idea, but he was there for
Okay.
it and
He was
just
present.
thrown into it.
Yeah.
I have a friend that knows him really well and says he's like the best guy ever.
Oh,
Oh,
he,
nice.
he
Super
seems
nice.
like he would be fun to have a beer with.
Yeah.
He probably tells you lots of jokes.
I bet.
Yeah, he's running bits.
Yeah, nonstop.
Yeah. It might get a little too much after.
Right.
Yeah.
Ancient times, Bruce, the Druids lit fires and wore costumes to scare off evil spirits. What do we call this tradition today?
The Academy Award.